Most people are living in a financial house with no foundation. They just keep stacking money on sound and wondering why nothing stands. Welcome to Minted Knowledge, your hub for financial knowledge. I'm your host, Tim Lane, and this is where the confused will become confident and where every episode will be another stone in your foundation. So get your writing material, pay rapt attention, the class is in session. If you are to see someone with the latest iPhone, what is the first thing that will pop into your head? They must be very rich. They must be very wealthy. So, what then is your definition of wealth? Put that thought. We are going to get back to this later. There is a man in my neighborhood, and you probably know someone just like him. He changes his car every 2 years. He always wears the top designers, and he constantly adds something new to his collection just to show off. And for a very long time, he was the neighborhood benchmark. People would point at him and say, "See how big he is living." It was the reference point. Everyone practically wanted to be as successful as he is. Then suddenly, he lost his job. And in 3 short months, literally 90 days, everything was completely gone. Apparently, the cars he was driving were leased by his company. The clothes were entirely financed on credit, and the high-end apartment he stayed in was rented. And when you actually sat down to calculate his net worth, everything was deep into the negative. He has been performing wealth for years without building any real substance. So back to my question, what is your definition of wealth? Real wealth is almost invisible, and visible wealth is almost always a performance. So today I need you to learn the critical difference between the two. In economics and evolutionary biology, there is a concept called signaling. Let me make this simpler. Have you ever seen a peacock? Whenever it comes in contact with human, or whenever it senses that there are eyes on it, it spreads out its tail into that magnificent, beautiful display. Try to picture it. That is precisely what signaling is. Drawing attention to yourself by displaying an external marker of your internal capacity, or in this case, just the external markers. In the human world, these markers are mostly material things. Signaling is a strategic use of expensive, highly visible markers to communicate status, belonging, and financial capacity to others. It could be a designer watch, it could be a luxury bag, or maybe the latest iPhone self. And it can be an high-end neighborhood. We attempt to signal our worth through our spending, and honestly, it often works. In Nigerian terms, we call this packaging. And the reason the signaling trap is so incredible hard to escape is the fact that it produces real societal benefits. Packaging provides you with access, it grants you opportunity, it opens doors to relationships, and it creates a powerful first impression for you. Why then am I talking about it? Why then am I bringing it up? Signaling is a good thing, but the problem lies when your signaling now start costing way more than the actual benefits it gives. When you go into debt just to signal a status you are not yet at, that is where the problem is. Because you are getting poorer while trying to look richer. Let me put a number to this. A study conducted in the United States, which perfectly applied to our reality here as well, showed that among households earning $100,000 a year, 40% of them live paycheck to paycheck. This means that they earn a remarkably high income, but they have zero actual wealth to show for it, because it all goes down into maintaining the signal. Meanwhile, an average millionaire in that same study drove a car worth less than $35,000. They choose to drive a modest car, not because they can't afford it, but because they understand a fundamental equation. And I want you to pay attention to this equation. Money kept and invested is greater than money spent or flaunted. To put this into figure, let's say spending 50,000 naira on a designer item give you just one fleeting moment of social signaling. It is just once that people would notice it, and after that, it becomes a normal thing. But if you take that exact 50,000 naira, invest it in an index fund or a productive asset, and leave it for 20 years, and if it compounds at a conservative 10% per annum, that money will grow into over 336,000 naira. Now you see what I'm talking about. Every single purchase you make is a trade. The question you must constantly ask yourself is, what exactly am I trading my capital for? Once again, what is your definition of wealth? Wealth is not your income. Wealth is what you keep. And as we established in previous episodes, your net worth is strictly your assets minus your liabilities. It is the absolute metrics that will give you the objective truth of where you stand. And the surest way to grow that number is to resist the temptation of signaling trap and let your money work for you in absolute silence. Start asking yourself, how am I growing? And stop asking yourself, how do I look? Because these entirely different questions require completely opposite answer sets. Looking will make you obsessed with the immediate situation, with the present situation, while growing will make you heavily invested in the future. And oftentimes, the people who look most impressive right now are the least impressive financially behind closed door. Real success has a version that is quiet and compounds over time. And that is the version of success I want you to fall in love with, because it is the only version that actually lasts. The exercise for this week is simple and non-negotiable, so let me add that. I need you to calculate your personal net worth in 3 simple steps. Step 1, add everything you own that carry real financial value. Your cash saving, your active investments, your business capital, and your properties. Step 2, add up everything that you owe. Your loan, your outstanding debt, and any bills you haven't cleared. And step 3, subtract your total liability from your total assets. Whatever that final number is, that is your true net worth. That is your financial starting line, and it is not your salary. It is not your job title, and it is definitely not your car. So write that number down, date it, because we are going to revisit it at the end of the year. And I believe it would have experienced a particular setting of growth. Real wealth is quiet, grounded, and permanent. And I hope you will know which one to go for. Not everything that glitters is gold. Most times. Every great house starts with a decision to build something that lasts. And you just made that decision. This is Minted Knowledge. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next episode.